Hi, let's start by talking about what I do as an automation specialist slash web scraper. So I will do that by taking YouTube as an example. So let's say I'm searching for a video, right? Let's say we're on YouTube and code has not been discovered yet, and we want to search for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? So what would happen in the YouTube database, assuming that YouTube exists, is that once a person decides that they want to search for Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, a person would go into the archives, index all of the videos, and then return the videos that are relevant to the search query, right? That are relevant to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So that's what the whole process would be about. But with automation, with the search function here in YouTube, we would just type it in and it will return it to us in a matter of milliseconds, right? Like imagine having to do that manually with YouTube's trillions of videos in their databases, in their archives, right? It would take days. But a search algorithm, it does that in a very short amount of time. Very predictably, I can do that hundreds of times and it will give us the same results. And I can even filter it based on certain parameters like upload date, view count, or rating, etc., etc., etc. I can do a lot of things as long it is repeatable and as long as it is rule based. So rule based saying that highest views at the top, right? If we filter based on view count, something like that. So as long as a process like the search process I mentioned just now is repeatable, done over and over again, and is rule based, it can be automated. So that is pretty much my job. My job is to automate the processes that you want to automate it and have not been automated yet. So that's pretty much what I do. But let's talk about, since we're at the topic of doing the processes that my clients want automated, let's talk about the portfolio. Let's talk about the jobs that I have done before. So Facebook ads audience selection process. It's repeatable. It is rule based. We need to niche down, continue niching down, and create new audience angles, new ad angles towards different audiences, and we run those ads. That's repeatable. That is rule based. Hence, it can be automated. So that's one of the things that I've done before. And the next thing is lead list building. And I'm going to demonstrate that actually right now. So it gathers usernames from Steam, Google Play Store, and relevant YouTube videos for zero bounce email marketing. So here is the actual code, and let me run it right now to show you how it works. So let's do the manual part, right? The boring process. So a person would go onto each game. For example, this is one of the games, Cookie Clicker, and then you will scroll down. It would get all of the reviews, and then it would take these usernames, write it down on a piece of paper, and then only then we can have an actual database, an archive full of the data that we want, right? How long would it take? Well, there are 27,000 reviews here, and it would take quite a while. It would take maybe a day or two, I'm assuming. So this is what the code does for us. It goes through the games that is relevant to the producers, the publishers' games, right? So my client was a game publisher, and he wanted to advertise the games that are similar to the games that he published, right? To market, to launch a marketing campaign. So what the code does is it scrapes usernames from Steam, Google Play, and relevant YouTube videos. And while these are the largest kind of reviews pool that we have from the internet, and that's what the code does. That's what the code does. Yep. And I'm doing a simple demo right now. Like I'm only scraping like 9 out of, let's say 9 out of all the reviews to make a demo, because I'm just scraping from the first page instead of all of it. Now, while the code is still running, let me talk about why I use Selenium and Scrapy. So if you go onto Upwork right now and you look for talents, you will find that rarely, like, there are people who use Scrapy, and you can see there are a lot of it, right? Python, Scrapy, and Selenium, etc., etc., etc. And the reason we decided to get into Selenium and Scrapy, both of them together, is because we want to be able to scrape from both dynamic and non-dynamic websites. So let me show you what that means. So Cookie Clicker, right? This is a Steam store website. You can see that everything works. The reviews are here. Everything just works. But if I copy the same link and then put it in the Scrapy view, let me spell it correctly. The Scrapy view, like this function, it shows us what Scrapy, the algorithm, would be able to see. The framework would be able to see. So it is not able to see the reviews. And if you compare it to the original website that's opened in Chrome, you can see that this part is missing. And the reason is because Scrapy is not able to deal with non-dynamic websites, right? So why would we use Scrapy? Well, like we can see here, like with YouTube, right? The YouTube search thing, the YouTube search function that we used, it was fast. It indexes all the videos in the YouTube database, and it returns those videos that are relevant to the search query. The whole process, it does that process in milliseconds, right? That's very, very quick. But with Selenium, it's slow. You can see that it's done actually. So but relatively it's still slow. It takes 3 minutes. Well, that takes milliseconds. That's a very quick algorithm. That's why we use Scrapy, because Selenium is very slow. Scrapy is quick, very quick. But Scrapy is not able to handle dynamic websites, as we can see here. And that's why we hedge the downside of Scrapy with Selenium. Selenium is able to handle dynamic websites, but it's slow. So we use both of them to kind of iron out the disadvantages that they have individually, to kind of have a balance point, for operating time, right? For operating time. So that's how we hedge the downsides. And the reason it's important is because dynamic websites exist, and being able to scrape from both dynamic and non-dynamic websites allows us to pretty much scrape from everything in the web. It allows us to apply our skills to it allows us to scrape from anywhere in the web, which is great because we want data, right? We want more data, we want good data. So if there's no limit, if there's no bottleneck, that's great. So here is the runtime for my algorithm. 3 minutes for 48 reviews. and it does that reliably over and over and over and over again, and you don't need to write it down, right? It's automated. The whole process is automated. So that's what makes me different. That's why I decided to go into Selenium and Scrapy, and that's what I did before, the projects I did before, and that is what I mean when I say that I help web businesses automate any often repeated tasks with Selenium and Scrapy frameworks, and that's how my job allows them to not worry about their business backend. So that is it for this introduction video. And if you have any use cases in mind, if you have any process that you want to be automated, feel free to say hi and contact me. I'll be very, very, very eager to apply my skills in real life. So that is it for this video. Again, do reach out if you do reach out, because you only need to do it once, and what's needed is some minor maintenance, updating of the code base. There's a few hours, and you need to set it up once, and you only need like a couple of hours now and then to keep it running consistently and efficiently. So that's it for this introductory video. I'm Hans, and I look forward to working with you.